with that polygamy situation before maybe Christianity came. So I'm not for either or. I'm not going to take any sides. As a minister of God, maybe I should take a side. As a minister of God, I should say no. It's one man, one wife. But then the reality on the ground, the way they say vitu kwa ground, vitu kwa ground are very different. Hey everybody, my name is Angie Murenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Mwene Inchi Monday, where we discuss all things governance. And today I wanted to talk about some rulings that were made in court, but the whole idea is about marriage, because marriages are under pressure. But let me just, let's flow. The court ruled in two separate cases that having a man's name on your identification card and living in his house are not guarantees that you're married. But I think it's a good time as women, wives, and daughters to examine our choices and to really understand what is marriage. Because the court is here ruling that if you have your name on somebody's ID, or you have their name, or you live in their house, or as I read the story, or they paid dowry, suggested dowry, it wasn't actually defined that it was dowry, that does not make that person your husband. And so first, let me speak to those who are not married, who are in a situation that could arise in this sort of circumstance unfolding. Because you see, marriage is a contract and it's a covenant. So first you have to do it the right way. So my feeling is that you either go to Sharia house, you go to the government body or entity, or you go to church and you make that things clear. There are no shortcuts here, because all these shortcuts are causing problems. As I read the two cases, I think in the newspaper, it was also amazing that the people had not done, they didn't have enough evidence. Some people did not have enough evidence. You said you lent somebody money. Then you create a contract and a paper that says you did, and you sign it and you have it witnessed. It's very simple. There are lawyers everywhere, and affidavits. Do something. Or even evidence. I was thinking, is there no evidence of that transaction? Okay, there could be evidence of the transaction, but maybe not the purpose of the transaction. So you just have to make things clear. I like even what Bishop T.D. Jakes says. He says that he even made a contract with his mother. Yeah, because it's your mother. That's how we get into problems. It's coherent things, or when things are working, we think that's the way they'll always be. We pray that they will always be, but that might not be the truth. So you have to have a contract, proof of this is a marriage. So as you think about moving into somebody's house, come we stay, living, doing business together, engaging together, and you're not married, then you have to understand how we're going to conduct that relationship. And then I thought the other thing is then put everything put the property in both your names. It's very easy. Whenever I buy property, I put it in Althea's name as well. So it's me and Althea, there, done. So if you're going to buy the property, then make sure your name is on the document. There has to be some intentionality and some deliberateness to this move that you're making. Because when I read those stories, it looks like it's a simple move, but it's not. It's going to have impact. So you've got to think about it. Before I move into that house, before I move into this relationship with no contract, with no document, no recognized governmental document that says we're married, have I thought through everything? And I was also thinking, how did we get to the place where marriage is about property? Maybe I'm naive, but how did we get there? When you look at God's pattern for marriage in Ephesians 5:21-33, at no place does he mention property. He talks about everybody being submitted to him, submitted to Jesus Christ, the wife being submitted to her husband in everything as a service to the Lord. So it's for a bigger purpose, and respecting and appreciating her husband. And it talks about husbands, love your wife as Christ loved the church. It's a sacrificial kind of love. And it says, love her. It says to the husband, love her as you love your own body. And then wash her with the water of the word. Present her to the world, presentable, blemish-free, wrinkle-free. But we've turned it into, it's about property. Are you getting married to somebody because of the property that you will acquire? Or another option, buy the property in separate names. You buy your own property in your name, he buys his own property in his own name. But like I said before, if you're going to share your body, surely your property, now let us do what we need to do about it, yeah? And then I also wanted to address those who believe in polygamy. I may not ascribe to it, but there are people who believe in polygamy. And I loved even yesterday when I was preparing the argument that God was bringing to me. God was giving me the argument. I'm like, God, surely. There are people who argue that in the Bible, there were wives and concubines, thousands of them. Then there's the African tradition and the way that our society was actually working with that polygamy situation before maybe Christianity came. So I'm not for either or. I'm not going to take any sides. As a minister of God, maybe I should take a side. As a minister of God, I should say no. It's one man, one wife. But then the reality on the ground, the way they say vitu kwa ground, vitu kwa ground are very different. And I guess what, in terms of society and culture, if I think of my grandparents' days, is it wasn't hidden. Everybody knew. My grandfather had 3 wives. Everybody knew the wives. All of them, we knew them. There was no hiding. And maybe that allowed things to work in a better way. Because sometimes I look and I just want to lift my hands and say, let's not even bother. That's why I was saying some people will remain nameless, believe in polygamy, and people are young and they're just thinking, what's going to change this situation? So if you're going to ascribe to that way of thinking and life, then document the processes. Document these wars on property that are getting people killed, they take people to court and just causing all sorts of chaos. Document them. Let's get our house in order. Yeah, let's get our house in order. One statement says that the man was not the biological father, but she felt he was responsible for the child's maintenance. And I wanted to ask why, and I thought it's a bit controversial, but why? Why is he's not the father? Why is he in charge of the child's maintenance? If you are married formally, which is government recognition at the AG's chambers or a certificate from church or both. I mean, I don't know. There has to be proof that there is marriage. And then I even felt that people even adopt that child. But I wanted to address that, and I may be wrong, on the entitlement mentality. We're very entitled. And sometimes I feel like we think we're very cunning. So we go out there with a plan in mind and a perception in mind. And then when it falls apart, we have problems that it fell apart. So on this Governance Monday, I'm saying get your house in order. Think through the things that you want to do. Put things down on paper. Document processes, document property, document ownership, document this is what I did, this is what he did, document it and then write it down. And also, you could forget about property and enjoy marriage, enjoy the relationship without all the added drama. God bless you and have a great Monday and a great week. God bless.